Welcome back to the Road Show this morning in the Buzz. It's become the focal point in many people's homes, and with 100 million TV subscribers, it's pretty safe to say it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But a new report says that more and more viewers are cutting the cord in favor of watching their favorite shows via over-the-air antennas, Netflix, or the web. Now, according to a report, nearly 800,000 households in the U.S. have cut the cord, so to speak, dumping their cable and satellite providers. Now, keep in mind, that's still less than 1% of the 100 million households in the U.S. with cable or satellite TV. Okay, so it's a very small percentage. But the thought of ditching that $100 plus bill every month, I have to say, is very tempting, because a lot of times
it's a big nut.
A cable bill, it's like a car payment.
Yeah.
What do you guys, do you ever watch TV online?
I have not yet, but you got to understand that I come from the generation that,
you want to sit on the couch with your remote.
Right.
Watch your TV.
Right, exactly. I talk to, when I say the college kids, but some of the interns or
the young people of today.
Yeah, that's right. They say to me, I don't have I don't have cable because I watch all my shows
on Hulu
all week. That I missed like 3 weeks worth of shows. I watch them online. I'm thinking, online? That's where I go to FoxProvidence.com.
That's a very nice plug.
Or ESPN.com or my other favorite spot, TMZ. I don't associate the web with watching TV.
Interesting, very interesting. And you don't either?
No, I never really get into the watching of shows online. For some reason, when I think of a computer, I think you're cramped at your desk. Like at my house, I have my laptop there. I want to, like you said, get on the couch, get my bowl of popcorn, and watch TV. Well, one thing I did get into, is watching television shows that come out on DVD now. Is amazing.
So you don't have to wait for commercials. You don't have to wait till next week.
It's great, especially if you do this, like the HBO shows that are like a half hour, 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there for an hour. You can pop it in whenever you want. If you don't, we're busy. We're all in bed fairly early, so you don't have time to, wait till 9 o'clock when something goes on. You can watch an entire season of Lost or Sopranos, whatever your viewing pleasure is in a week or so.
What's interesting to me is I do watch some programming online, programming that you can't. I'm a big nerd. I really like documentaries. I really like different things from Europe and stuff like that, different shows and stuff like that. So I like to watch online because we can't get it here. But I can't imagine doing that as my regular TV viewing. Yeah. However, just over the Easter weekend, my brother-in-law, who's several years younger than I am, said, "Oh, what movie do you guys want to watch?" Pulled out his computer, did a little thing, and then all of a sudden we were watching the movie from his computer on the television. Right. So I can see that happening. Yeah. And I have to say, it is really tempting to do. However, we all three of us know that our bills are paid by the fact that people watch TV and they stay tuned for the commercials, because as much as we like to show what's here, what we're really offering to cable providers is an audience, and they sell the commercial spots. So how do you then make money off of this new animal? Is it going to be through subscription fees? I think what's going to happen is, a lot of people are interested in Hulu, which is a website that shows a lot of your favorite television programs. I think what they're going to end up doing is waiting until a lot of people are into it and then saying, here comes the ads.
Right. It's like websites that don't charge you now, like newspapers are going to some are going to start.
New York Times is about to switch over.
To start charging to read it. Listen, I just figured out TiVo like a year ago.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to just sort of kind of work on with what I've got at home, and then one of my children will probably teach me how to do things a lot easier online
next week.
Yeah, like when he turns 8 or something like that. He'll figure
I could never imagine cutting the cord though. I grew up in a non-cable house growing up. And then when I moved out, when I went to college and had cable, I could never imagine going back to the basic channels now. So it's a part of life.
Well, I'll tell you what,
I'm in it to win it with cable. I'm on board.
A lot of people don't have cable, but Courtney, I have to say, all of us live by our DVRs pretty much because we're on this shift, and we're going to bed before prime time.
I have one question. You guys might know the answer to this. Is there a way you can watch internet shows that are somehow plugged into your television? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
In Xbox or Wii?
Go ahead. Take it away.
I
have no.
Don't ask me to explain it.
Okay.
But I think you can.
I like that idea because then I have my TV and I have my internet, and we have both. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens in my house coming up. We have both sides here of cutting the cord and keeping the cable here on the live blog. Let's take a look really quick on FoxProvidence.com. And Lisa says, I won't cut the cord if I don't have to. I like watching watching on TV better than watching on my computer. And Jean says I would have no problem cutting the cord, which is one of my biggest bills every month, but I cannot give up my computer. Here's our poll here right under the live blog. Would you ever consider cutting the cable cord? A, sure, it's cheaper to watch online. B, no way, I'm too attached to basic cable. And if you're just joining us and you're on Facebook, you can leave a comment here and compete with the other 12 or so that are on there. Maybe we'll read some at the end of the show, and I'll also have your poll results then. So for now, we're going to head into the kitchen with the boys.